welcome to your favourite teacher. Today's video will be exploring religion and fate in Romeo and Juliet. Remember, if you're given a theme-based question, you need to make sure you can link it to key characters and events from the story. You won't get high marks if you just talk about one thing. Let's take a look at religion in the play. The first thing to know is that the church was a huge influence throughout the 16th century. In Shakespearean times, if you didn't attend church on Sunday, you'd receive a fine or punishment. You could only get married in a church, which is why Romeo and Juliet went to Friar Lawrence. Divorce was almost impossible, so it would have shocked a 16th century audience when Romeo and Juliet made the rash decision to get married. A modern audience would be more likely to question their age, not their rushed marriage. Shakespeare uses a lot of religious imagery in the play, especially when describing love. In Act 1, Scene 5, Romeo says, "My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand," when talking with Juliet. A pilgrim is a person who journeys to a sacred place for religious reasons. So Shakespeare is saying here that a kiss between the young couple would complete a sacred journey for the pair. The 16th century audience would know that Juliet's decision to marry Romeo would mean she could not marry Paris. This would be breaking the law, allowing for a shocked response from the audience. Here, Shakespeare is showing how powerful religion can be. Romeo and Juliet know that they can't be together properly without being married first, but their love is so strong that they are both willing to commit to one another. Friar Lawrence would be a key character to use if responding to a question about religion. He represents the role of the church because he's so well respected. Everyone trusts his opinions and goes to him for advice. However, he does make some questionable decisions in the play. For example, agreeing to marry the couple, knowing the potential damage it could do. However, perhaps Shakespeare is trying to warn people that sometimes a decision made by the church isn't always the right path to choose. After all, Romeo and Juliet both commit suicide at the end of the play, which was a sin in the eyes of God. Friar Lawrence knows this and flees from Juliet's tomb once he realises what Romeo has done. Now, let's touch on fate. The most obvious thing to write about if this came up in the exam is the prologue. And you're right to do so. From the very beginning of the play, Shakespeare tells the audience what is to come. "From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life." Shakespeare is immediately warning everybody of the dangers of taking a feud too far. The stars control Romeo and Juliet's lives, but as an audience we know that the stars are against them. Shakespeare plays with the idea of fate versus personal choice, or free will versus determinism. Knowing that they are from opposing families, Romeo and Juliet don't have to act on their relationship. Friar Lawrence didn't have to agree to marry them, which I've already said could have been so he could further his own religious power. You could definitely look at Romeo and Juliet's lack of decent parenting as a reason for their quick decisions. Although the prologue tells us that fate plays a huge role in the deaths of Romeo and Juliet, it could be argued that the power of religion has its part to play as well. You can use both fate and religion if either question came up. That's it for now, but stay with us for the next video where we'll look at some more of the themes in Romeo and Juliet. I'm Miss Meeks, thanks for watching.